If an aircraft comes in on a rotation from an international origin, the next leg can easily be a domestic one. There is no need to tow the aircraft or vice versa, as the stand or the boarding bridges are connected to both the levels, and we can bring the passenger to wherever destination they might need. Even there we kept the facilities very flexible for expansion. We also looked into things like what you can see on the next page, providing a possibility to have self-power onsets in future, which will again pull down the time for the turnaround by removing the need for pushback. Looking at the runway, there's a 3,900 meter long runway on the phase 1 in direction 10 to 8, and Cat 3 compliant in the direction of 28 and Cat 1 in the direction of 10. We have the full parallel taxiway added from the day 1, which allows us also to have the maximum efficiency on the apron side. You can see that there is one rapid exit taxiway provided, which is under construction, and we also have already taken the call that the preparations for the additional ones already is there. This means that once we have an additional demand, more movements, hopefully even earlier than we expected, then this can be added without impact on the running operations, which is very important, that as we only have one runway, this can be kept as an efficient operation. I was talking before about the rectangular taxiway, which is there on the right hand side. So this means for Code C aircraft we can cut down the taxi time for the departure. We don't need to go up all the way to the threshold of runway 28, but they provide sufficient length on the runway to have takeoffs from here. On the passenger apron we provide 25 Code C stands, out of which 10 are at the terminal building, equipped with the passenger boarding bridges as per the concession agreement. And there are 6 positions which are planned in a mass configuration. It's coming back that we say we want to have flexibility of the airfield design. And we also kept a triple taxi lane system within the passenger apron so that we can high-speed the efficiency within the movement of the aircraft while they are taxiing in and taxiing out without impacting each other. Last point here, as mentioned before, the remote stands which you see on the north side, they are provisioned to be transferred into a self-power out stand, that the taxi time will be shorter, that there is no pushback time, which also will make the whole apron more efficient if we don't push back the aircraft again into the same area which all the aircraft from the terminal building are into. Other facilities which are built for the day 1 are obviously the aircraft and the ATC tower. Here we have taken a call to combine this in one facility, which makes the whole thing more efficient, which also reduces the cost for this development. We have the operations office block west, where we house all the control centers, as mentioned before, emergency control center, the security control center, which is operated by CISF, the AOCC or APOC, which we want to make the place where this collaboration happening between all the ground handlers, the airlines, the airport team steering the operations, as well as our pass section office for the issuance of the AEPs. And what is also housed there is the additional areas of AAI, like the backup ATC. For now, it's intended that the approach is handled from IGI, but there's also the provision there that if we have increasing traffic, approach control could be shifted to NIA itself. And last but not least, the GSC and airport maintenance, again, a combined facility, being conscious about the cost, which can be expanded in future, located in the west area of the campus. And to round the whole picture up, what we need in terms of utility building, providing air handling, power, water, sewage treatment, etc. And the access to the airside in both the east and the west campus with the airside gates designed for a good throughput of staff. What we also approached as a very high goal is our targets on sustainability, which break down into 3 topics. One is net zero on carbon and energy, and where one of the topics is the solar farm, the solar power. And Second topic is the whole efforts which have gone into the design directly, like passive design measures to keep the energy consumption low from the beginning. And the last but not least point is that we're also looking into virtual power purchase agreement. Being a greenfield airport, before starting the operation, it's quite tricky to exactly calculate how much power consumption is needed. So this will help us also to reach this goal. On the water side, we look into retention of rainwater for toilet flushing, for irrigation of the landscape, that we can try to achieve there a minimum wastage as well, and the recirculation of waste by the local waste treatment plant. I think I hand back to Karen.
As we've been talking, we have mentioned some of these facts, but as of now, some of the key partnerships that we have awarded, and I'm very happy with the selection of our partners. All of these have been awarded on an absolute competitive bid basis, as is the requirement in our concession agreement with the state of Uttar Pradesh. So the fuel farm has been awarded to Indian Oil Sky Tanking. Work is very well underway. Representation is here as well from the organization. Thank you for coming. Our cargo concession, which we are calling a multimodal cargo hub, essentially combines the typical CTO plus then all the warehousing, logistics, etc., and the trucking centers. We are very glad to have awarded that to AI SATS. Again, we have representation here as well. So thank you very much for being here.